Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are listening to the audiobook of Above the Clouds, Below the Stars. Today we will be starting with chapter 2, where it all began. Let's dive into the chapter. Training began with that kind of intensity you can't prepare for even after years of flying. This wasn't just about safety drills and emergency protocols anymore. It was about wines, cheese, service scripts, and the art of balancing a smile with a service tray. Everything was premium, precise, and overwhelming. A month-long transformation from economy cabin crew to a refined first-class host. From routine to elegance. On day one, I walked into the class 10 minutes early, and the only empty seat was next to a guy quietly adjusting his tie. He looked up and smiled politely. "Hi, I'm Joey," he said, with a soft Singaporean accent. I couldn't help myself. The response came out before I could stop it. "How you doing?" I smiled. He chuckled immediately. "I get this all the time," he said, shaking his head with a familiar amusement. I blinked. "Oh no, I'm sorry. That must be annoying." He smiled again, softer this time. "Oh, that's okay. I'm used to it." He looked at me like a classmate trying to break the ice. He wasn't exceptionally tall, didn't try too hard to be noticed, and spoke with a kind of gentle ease that spread comfort around. There was something about the way he took notes so neatly or asked questions with a hint of embarrassment that made him oddly enduring. I didn't fall for him. My heart didn't skip a beat. If anything, I wondered if it still had the capacity to. I was 21 years old, working as a hotel receptionist when a sous chef proposed to me for the first time. Even though I didn't feel any butterflies or hear violins playing in the background, I said yes. He was handsome, dark hair, blue eyes, a six pack, and bulging triceps. We had a good run for about a year until I landed this job. That's when he confessed that he was never happy with my sexual performance and couldn't handle a long distance relationship. So he broke up with me. Normally, someone might have been shattered, but I felt free. I was actually feeling happy. It was then that I realized reality is nothing like the movies. You don't feel butterflies, you shoulder responsibilities. You don't hear violence, you hear arguments. The butterflies are just a myth, I told myself. Probably lost somewhere between long haul flights and quiet cries. But still, I found myself sitting beside him each day, just casually and conveniently. We laughed and studied together at times. But something inside me questioned why didn't I feel more? At times, I'd think I may have a crush on him. Is this how crushes are supposed to feel? The thrill, the teenage tingle, the breath catching kind of lightness. Why do I never get to experience the on screen romance? It never happens in real life, or I missed it living a busy life. Still, I notice the little things. Like how he sometimes asked for help with the service flow diagrams, and I'd patiently explain, feeling oddly proud to be needed, even just academically. Or how he'd fumble through the cheese service names and ask, "What's that stinky one again?" And I'd reply, "Roquefort." "You're welcome." He'd laugh every time. We weren't anything more than classmates, but his presence felt like a small patch of spring in the middle of my winter. Time passed. We kept learning each day by cramming the wine list, memorizing cheese pairings, and perfecting the art of a world class service. It was intense, but the classroom slowly started to feel like a second home. And it wasn't just Joey anymore. I made a few more friends too. There was Kai, a girl from Philippines. Then there was Maria, a bright soul from Kazakhstan with laughter that bounced off the walls. Both became my close friends in just a few days. And Mihaela from Prague, oh my god, Mihaela. She looked stunning like a Disney princess, straight out of a fairy tale. I even called her princess. Cringe, I know, but it fit. She wasn't one of my closest friends, but she was lovely company and always surrounded by compliments she never seemed to notice. There was a bunch of guys too, a mix of nationalities and personalities, a Moroccan, Italian, Spanish, and a few Indian guys who kept swearing in every sentence, loud, brash, like they were in a college hostel. Except one. His name was Raghav, an Indian guy who kept to himself. Quiet, mysterious. He never tried to stand out, never forced a joke, never tried to make conversation, and maybe that's exactly what made him interesting. Tall, well built, good posture. His eyes were deep, like he was always thinking about something far away. He looked like the kind of guy I'd fall for in a heartbeat, if only he wore glasses. I've had my type of man imagined since childhood, an introvert man wearing specs and reading books. He kept showing up every now and then in my silly dreams, like all young girls, I too had my ideal type. But then I shook my head and laughed at myself. Why am I reasoning boys and looking around? It's not like I'm looking for a boyfriend. I have been single for a very long time now. I dated a few guys during my first year of flying only to realize no one's worth my time. So I found peace within, and ironically, it felt right. I'm so comfortable living alone that I'd never want to jeopardize this anymore. Although I keep having crushes in a while, every now and then. Thank you for listening. Chapter 2, Part 1. See you in Part 2. Until then, bye bye. Take care.